Welcome to Cheat Code Nutrition, the podcast where science meets strategy to help you decode your body and unlock next level health. I'm your host, Ellie Young, functional nutrition practitioner and genetic testing nerd, here to guide you through the real root causes of fatigue, stubborn weight, hormonal chaos, and mystery symptoms the traditional system shrugs off. Whether you're optimizing for longevity, performance, or just want to feel like yourself again, you're in the right place. Around here, we don't guess, we test. We use functional lab work, genetic nutrition, and a no BS approach to precision wellness that works with your body, not against it. If you're ready to ditch the one size fits all protocols and start working with your actual blueprint, this is your cheat code. Let's get into it. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Cheat Code Nutrition, the podcast that gives you the clarity, confidence, and custom nutrition strategies you've been craving. I'm your host, Ellie Young, integrative and functional nutrition practitioner and lover of all things that make you feel good and do good inside your body. So today we are going to be talking about vacation. I am just back from my annual trip up to Moclips, Washington. So I'm from Washington State, and my parents own this incredible beach house on the coast of Washington. It's like a Goonies beach. It's amazing. They live right on the seagrass. My dad has built all sorts of forts, and there's a zip line and treasure. It's just incredible. My kids are getting older now, so it's this annual trip. I mean, we have been going there for oh my gosh, I want to say like over 10 years now annually. So it's like this die marker in my brain of like the time passing with my kids. Um, but specifically, I wanted to share with you just how much uh, this vacation has changed for me. So I was trying to do the math, and out of these last, okay, it's got to be 11 years that I've been going there. Out of the last 11 years, the first 6 of those were alcohol filled, and the last 5 were alcohol free. So I used to come home from that holiday feeling bloated, hungover, an irritable mess. And now, 5 years into living it alcohol free, I am deeply in tune with my body now, and I come home feeling better than when I left. I'm actually feeling restored. That place is magical, and I feel like I soak up every magical thing about it, and I get to be incredibly present with my kids. So, yes, this is possible. And I promise this episode isn't about being perfect or smug or that one healthy cousin who brings their own chia pudding to the brunch. Okay, maybe maybe that is what I am, because I fully packed chia seed puddings for my husband and I on the plane, which I highly recommend, guys, for travel. It keeps you super regular, and chia seed pudding is like the easiest thing to make. I even packed a bag of chia seeds with me, just threw it in my suitcase so that I could quickly make that while I was there. But really, this episode is about showing you how just like a few small intentional shifts can totally transform your time off into something that actually fuels you. I am here to inspire you. I'm not here to shame you. I'm not here to be like, oh, wouldn't it be nice if I could be like that? I really, truly want to inspire you and show you kind of the ways I have grown into this version of myself that, to be honest, my family makes fun of me. Everybody kind of pokes a little fun at me. You know, they call it my fever when I get into things, and I'm passionate about, healthy things and wanting to do stuff. And this is kind of like my main event because I'm not working. I get to be up there. I have time to cook. I have time to try new recipes and have a little fun with it. Instead of just cooking for my family, who half the time we're going in a million different directions and nobody cares. So it's fun. It's fun for me to get to do this. So let's do a little trip down memory lane, how I used to spend my 4th of July, and in a way that I'm really familiar with helping my clients now unwind and get past this holiday. So here's the routine. I used to start drinking around 2 p.m. because, hey, vacation, right? This is what we do on vacation. That old belief system that how do you relax on vacation? How do you let go? How do you treat yourself? It's with alcohol, right? And with that, I would usually eat chips for dinner, tons and tons of chips and dips, probably something cheesy, some sort of nacho dip. And I wouldn't really eat like a main meal, like protein. I mostly would just snack like all day, right? I would blur my way through conversations, and granted, like, I have a lot of fun memories, but when I look back at the pictures, like, I was drunk. I was red-faced, blurry eyes. My memories are blurry, and my kids were little at this time, and, I was festive, and I'm sure I was having a great time, but I'm always just like, "Oh my gosh," like, I did all that with my kids being little. The next day, I would sleep terribly, and the next day, I would wake up kinda feeling, like, yucky, not obviously hungover, but also just yucky from eating stuff I didn't wanna eat and, maybe just I wanting to prove to everybody that I wasn't hungover, and so I would go run. I would try and get up super early and go sweat it all out. I would run, like, 5 miles on the beach, and that was my way of trying to reset, right? And often I would fight with my husband. We'd snap at each other about who was going to watch the kids. My kids are awkwardly the only grandchildren in the family. My sister does not have kids. And so she invites like other adult friends over. So it's like a lot of adults at the house and then my two kids. And so people have to play with them, people have to engage them. There's a couple little neighborhood kids that come over sometimes. And but for the most part, it's like, what are we going to do to entertain the kids? There's lots for them to play with, but they're getting older. I mean, anyways, you understand what I'm saying. Like somebody's got to like set them up and like get them doing stuff safely. It's also when they were little, there was a lot of ways for them to hurt themselves. It's kind of like the wild wild west out there. Super free play, but also they needed a little assistance, right? So this was the routine. Rinse, repeat, spiral. Like we'd drink all day, kind of blurry into the evening, eat a bunch of junk, wake up hungover, kind of be mad at each other, be annoyed. There's a lot of people in the house. We're sharing a bathroom, and so tensions were high, even though we were trying to like enjoy ourselves and celebrate and have fun. Um, but I would always just feel depleted, bloated, foggy, short fused, not myself. And also with the kids, like, there's always this pressure to have them be awesome in front of my parents and these other, like, families and adults and stuff where I was just like, "Look at my kids," you want them to be, like, great kids, and they're not always. And it's like, it's hard when there's no other kids there to, like, compare them to or to, like, be like, they're the only ones. It's just you know what I mean. It's difficult. Um, but something once I finally got alcohol free, this vacation totally shifted for me. And it was incredibly awkward. Year 1 was very awkward, and honestly, I didn't know what to do with myself. And it wasn't that I felt like I wanted to drink. It was just like, what do I do with myself when the main event is drinking, right? So I started the first year, I started making a lot of beach art. Yeah, I'm not kidding. I got all of the driftwood and seashells, and I would, like, make stuff out of it and decorate my mom's house with it. Driftwood sculptures, wreaths, like, kinda like wind chime type of things, and I was like my mom did not appreciate it much. She would try to be like, "Oh, isn't that pretty?" But slowly those things would, like, disappear over the years. I'd be like, "Mom, where's my door hanging wind chime thing I made?" She's like, "Oh, it must have blown away in the storm." So, yeah, that was how I healed. I highly recommend art, by the way, as a way of, like, healing, when you're trying to go alcohol free. You need something stimulating for your brain to do. I did a lot of tie-dye, and when I was at this vacation the year when I made a lot of sea art. Um, yeah, it kept my hands busy, it gave me peace, and it felt like it was little breadcrumbs back to myself. Like, at the end of the day, I'm a maker. I love to make things, and I love to gift give, even if people don't love my gifts? But since then, every year has evolved. One year, I was like obsessed with baking healthy treats. I'm still into that. But one year, I was just like, I'm going to make so many desserts. Because I wanted always something to indulge myself in too while everyone else was drinking. I was like, I'm going to eat lots of pie, healthy pie. One year, I was running on the beach. I was training for a marathon. And now I cook, I nourish, I mother not just my kids, but my whole family. My integrative and functional nutrition background now has really inspired me to not just eat clean for myself, clean for my immediate family, but also like my extended family. So while they drink, my main mission is to keep everyone hydrated and detoxing, and let's be honest, pooping better than they ever have on any vacation in their entire life. I have joked, I was like, I want to hear about your BMs, everybody. I want to know that I was successful in helping you move things along on vacation and meals that are actually supporting the different phases of their detox as well. So it's not just helping them poop, but it's literally helping their liver process, helping their gut process. Okay, so here are 5 ways I nourish myself and my family on vacation. The 5 things I did this year that helped me actually come home feeling better and not broken and not feeling like, "Oh my god, I need to recover from this vacation." So number 1, I pack my non-negotiables. I bring my wellness MVPs with me. For me, the basics are electrolytes. I literally don't ever leave home without my electrolytes. I pack protein powder so that I can throw it into baked goods. I can have a quick shake if I need it. I also pack it for my kids because they inevitably eat worse on vacation as well. Lots of more treats, lots of, going out. And my mom always buys them wonky stuff and like Doritos and Honey O's cereal. Oh my gosh. So if I can just get a protein shake in them first thing in the morning, that way they have at least a good foundation. I also pack my AG1. That's my athletic greens. That is awesome for immunity, getting all of your micronutrients and minerals, probiotics, um, ashwagandha, things like that. That is just kind of like a insurance policy. My sister was actually very, very ill, sick this year. Even though she rallied and tried to hang out and party and stuff, she was coughing like crazy. And so I was like doubling down on my AG1 just to make sure I didn't get sick. And then I also pack all of my personal supplement sacks, which I will spare you that laundry list. But with Hashimoto's, yeah, I got to take a lot of supplements right now. I also casually, and let's read annoyingly, make sure everyone in my family drinks electrolytes too, especially after a day in the sun and drinking and salty food. I make sure they're getting their hydration and micronutrients. This is the travel health hack that no one talks about. So make sure you're packing that stuff. It's really easy to do, and it's really easy to just drink that first thing in the morning, and then you, like, have an insurance policy, right? Number 2, and this is a big one, I go grocery shopping. So most vacations that I take, and especially this one, is I want a kitchen. I don't love staying in hotels with, like, mini fridges. Like, I wanna have, like, a kitchen to make a couple basic meals for myself so we don't have to eat out all the time, and that you can get some foundational good food in your body so that you can indulge in these other spots when you choose, knowing that you've kinda had this foundation already. Does this still sound like fun to you guys on vacation? Because for me, when I'm like, this is still, I like to prioritize this when I'm on vacation because I have more space and time and it feels really good. It feels like art to me to cook on vacation. It's a lot like the sea art. Now I'm like, ooh, I've been meaning to try all these amazing recipes. I'm going to do it on this trip where I have all these people that I can cook for. So as soon as I arrive, I literally go right to the grocery store. It was like 8 o'clock at night, but I went. And I stock up like a functional medicine boss. So here are some of the basics I get for sure. Eggs, tons of eggs, kale. It keeps really well in the fridge and you can literally chop it up and add it to everything. Gluten-free bread for me. Tons of berries. I also got bison because they didn't have any grass-fed or even like organic meat options. So I did get wild bison. I like to make up a bunch of ground meat and then just have it in the fridge. Again, throw it in with the eggs, throw it into a rice and beans bowl for my kids. It's just, I make it so that it's in there and I have a protein option to just throw into stuff. I also got 2 heads of cabbage, green and purple, and chickpeas and lentils, cilantro, and then, of course, I got a bunch of vegan dips, crackers, gluten-free crackers, like seed crackers. And then for my treats, so I could make these awesome, yummy treats, I got dates, almond flour, maple syrup, oh, and peanut butter. Peanut butter. Okay, here's what I made. Don't get annoyed with me just yet. I do this in the morning. I batch cook a bunch of stuff and then just keep it in the fridge. So I made a big batch of lentils. Literally, that takes like 2 minutes of prep. I use bone broth and then a couple cups of lentils, and you just slow cook it like rice. I roasted chickpeas in the oven, literally just dry the chickpeas, drain and dry the chickpeas, put a bunch of seasonings on them, and you roast them till they get crunchy. You can throw them onto everything for extra. Both lentils and chickpeas are super high in choline, which is super good for methylation. That is what is it, choline that they're good in? Yes. Yes. No. What are they high in? Oh, I'm sorry, they're high in folate. Pardon me. Eggs are really high in choline, which is great for methylation. Lentils and chickpeas are super high in folate, natural folate, which is also what you need for the methylation cycle. So I'm really focused on helping my family detox, and these are high in protein and they're high in fiber. So I am picking these key ingredients that you can just throw into stuff. It doesn't even have to be a big meal item. It's stuff that we can throw in to really check a box with those key nutrients that I want my family to get, and myself, obviously. I make this big cabbage cilantro lime slaw that got better. I use lime and cilantro. Did I say that already? It gets better with day. It just gets like juicier and yummier. And then I would throw the lentils in that, the chickpeas in that, any other protein we had cooking that day. And then I made a ton of these guilt-free desserts that everyone demolished. I put the recipe on my Instagram page if you guys want to see it. They were like these brownie bites made with dates. I think I misspoke on my Instagram page and I said they were figs. I don't know why I said that, but they were dates. You blend up dates with peanut butter, almond flour, maple syrup, a little vanilla extract, and what else? Oh, I added protein powder. I also added my Bia seed cycling blends and made these little brown. You roll them into little balls and then dip them in chocolate. Holy smokes, you guys! I was popping these things like crazy. So it's not about just being the healthy one. It was about making nourishment really convenient and still joyful. Like it was still delicious. It was still really good to me. Um, and I was totally successful. Everyone was pooping with perfection and very grateful and being like, I normally get backed up on vacation and instead I am just pooping like a champ. And no one actually got sick, even though despite my sister was coughing all over everybody. No one got it, and I was like, "Am I onto something here? Am I, like, boosting everyone's immune system because I was feeding everyone such colorful things, taking advantage of all of nature's medicine?" So, yeah, I'm gonna pat myself on the back a bit. It felt good. It felt this is my love language was to actually be able to cook for everybody, even if they kinda are like, "Oh my god, a cabbage salad, like, with no cheese and no." I was like, "If you guys wanna add some feta or something to this, I can't do dairy right now, but please enjoy a little feta on that." All right, next up, I moved a lot while I was up there. And again, my workouts have migrated to this place that is so much more peaceful and joyful. I don't feel compelled to do it. It feels more natural and not as urgent. I let it fit in when I can fit it in, and I'm not like panicky about trying to get it done. So I would walk with my sister, and it's the most magnificent, beautiful beach up there. If you guys check out my Instagram, you can see it. Um, she also bought some weighted, like some dumbbells, those adjustable ones. So we actually had some weights that we could play with when we get back and just do like a little 20-minute, like, you know, weightlifting session on the deck. It was awesome. And again, I only did this like a couple of the days. We climbed a few hills. There was a big hill that comes down to my parents' house, and I climbed that a few times listening to a podcast. No pressure, no punishment, honestly, just rhythm. And my movement wasn't trying to like burn off food or alcohol or stress. It was actually to connect and to really be in nature and to regulate and to enjoy my body. It was truly like it's just a gift. And it's so different. It's just so different from how I used to move my body. Number 4, I indulge. I do. I treat myself, but I do it with ingredients that actually love me back. And this has been such a fun thing. There are so many incredible recipes on Instagram. And if you haven't got this app already, I highly recommend it. It's called Resime, like recipe, but Resime. And I think I pay like $5 a month for it. And it's literally the best. It's the best app I own right now. Any Instagram recipe that you see and you want to do, you just send it to this app and or share it to the app, and it pulls the recipe out, whether it's audio or whether it's written in the caption. It pulls it, it organizes it, and it saves it, and you can actually click a button that'll turn it into a grocery list for you. Holy smokes. So I had all these amazing recipes that I was like, I want to do that, I want to do that. Turned it into a recipe, went out, and I made it. So when everyone else was cracking beers, I was coming around with a plate of brownie bite balls, and I had a lot of funny jokes about people eating my balls, and I had salted them. I'd put a little sea salt on top, so they were my salty balls. If you guys remember that Saturday Night Live skit from forever ago, so good, my salty balls. And so, yeah, we had a lot of fun with it. I do have two teenager boys, 14 and 11, so ball jokes are a thing for sure, and everybody loved it. And there was no regret, and there was no hangovers. Most everybody was spared brutal hangovers, and I'd like to say I am gonna take a little credit for that. Whether I am inspiring them or maybe they're just embarrassed to drink heavily around me, but I will take it. I will take the healthy spillover effect. Nobody was bummed that I was there, and I don't preach. I just come around with healthy stuff, and I'm like, "Hey, you should have some of this. This is delicious, and this is gonna help you detox, and it's gonna help your liver out." And people are like, "Thank you." It was amazing. It was great. Number 5, I stayed present. This is probably the most present I've ever been on a trip, and here's why. I didn't work. I didn't check my email. I actually pre-batched all of my content to go out on Instagram, my newsletter, my podcast. I finished it all the week before. And yes, that was a grind to get it done, but it helped me not have to think about it all week long, to just sit back and enjoy everything. I did make a funny reel with my dad dancing because it was my dad, and he likes to be a part of stuff, he likes to dance, and he was just sitting in the kitchen eating my stuff and joking about, things, and I'm teaching him stuff about onions because he loves onions, and so we were looking up all of the phytonutrients inside onions, which, by the way, it's called, the polyphenol, which is nature's medicine that's in an onion, is called quercetin, which is actually really amazing for immunity. And because my sister was so sick, I was like, "Dad, let's have you eat a bunch of onions." He's like, "I've always loved onions. Like, I don't know why, I just crave onions." And I'm like, "Maybe it's the quercetin." So we were doing, and so that was really cool that my dad's like, "It's not just food, it's actually a way of healing your body." So I had a lot of fun with that. I walked barefoot everywhere, grounding myself. I played with my kids. I played soccer on the beach with them. I took silly pictures with my son, goofing around. I ran all over with my dog. I sat and listened to my mom, which was kind of painful at times, but I did it. I had patience. I had empathy. Um, the nourishment we need, though, isn't always in a smoothie. I have to remind myself this. Sometimes it's in the space between conversations. It's in the stillness. It's in the moments where I'm not busybodying around trying to taskmaster my way to feeling accomplished. I struggle with that a lot, that if I'm not achieving, if I'm not busy, if I'm not like banging things out, that I'm not worthy. And so me being able to literally forget my phone, I just would forget my phone there. I took so many less pictures than I normally do because I literally just forgot it. It was a big shift for me. I had never really done that. That level of peace, that level of stillness, that level of unrushed moments, it was a win for me in a way that I haven't experienced before. And so that's why I'm celebrating. I'm a little celebrating with this podcast. If you can't tell, I'm kind of pumped. So this is a ripple effect. Here's the beautiful and surprising part. My decision to stop drinking and focus on nourishing myself, it didn't just change me. And I wasn't just annoying people. It shifted for my whole family. And I'm sure I'm still annoying on some level. But in the end, I'm inspiring people. They still drink, yes, but it's less, especially around me. And I don't know if it's subconscious or if it's some sort of respect they're trying to pay to me, or because they know that they're going to get like a flaxseed brownie from me for dessert, but I feel the change. And maybe the salad I'm making them is more than just about cabbage. Maybe it's like a new ritual, a reset, a reminder. So, if you've ever come back from vacation and said, I need a vacation from my vacation, oh man, have we all been there or what? This is your sign. Start small. You don't have to overhaul everything. Commit to one small thing. Pack some electrolytes. Pre batch your work ahead of time so that you actually don't have to open your laptop. Make that lentil salad. Go get some lentils. They're so easy to make. They're so tasty, and they literally spruce up fiber and protein to anything you're making. They're so easy. Nourish with intention, not just your body, but your nervous system too. Make it easy on yourself. And if you want to see what this looks like in real time, follow me on Instagram at Find Myself Free. Thank you so much for being here. Your health is worth protecting, even on vacation. And I'd like to challenge the mindset too, that vacation means that you should be indulging. Yes, you should be indulging, but what does that mean? Does that have to mean that it's a poisonous drink or food that doesn't love you back or sleep depriving yourself? What does real indulgence look like? What does that mean? How can you treat your brain and your body to things that are actually going to be, amazing for you, to make you feel better? How can you heal yourself? How can you come back feeling better? All right. Thank you again for being here. If you like this episode, I'd love if you could rate and review the show or share this with a friend who could use it, right? Because who couldn't use a little inspiration, a little motivation to make their vacation something they come home from feeling proud, feeling healed, feeling like they're sharing a positive ripple with other people, other family in their life, right? Inspire one another. And as always, I am with you. You got this. Thanks for tuning in to Cheat Code Nutrition. If today's episode sparked some curiosity about what your genes are trying to tell you, grab my free guide, 5 Genes You Should Know to Optimize Your Health. It's linked for you in the show notes. And if you're ready to skip the guesswork and start working with your actual blueprint, check out my genetic nutrition coaching offer, also linked in the show notes. Your next level of health might just be one test away. Until next time, stay curious, stay nourished, and don't forget, your body's not broken. It just speaks a different language. Let's learn to speak it fluently.